Hello students, hope you all are doing great. I'm Achal Chaudhary, working as an assistant professor in management department. I'm back with my online lecture series of income tax. And as you know, I'm covering the syllabus of BBA and BCom of all universities. And if you haven't seen my previous video, then this video will not help you so much. So I request you to watch my previous lecture of income tax for your better understanding. I have provided the link in the description given below to help you to understand the basics of income tax. So let's start with today's lecture. So students, today we are going to start a new unit, a fresh unit, which will include your income from salaries, income from house property, and income from profit and gains of business and profession. So we will start a new unit today. That is your unit number 2. So in today's lecture, we will cover all of your topic related to your income under the head salaries. We will cover the definition of salary, allowances which are available under the head, and all the things which are covered under your income from salaries. So first of all, we will cover this topic, then we will move further for the under income under your house property. So in between the video, I will let you know which are the important topics according to your examination point of view. And also after each and every video, at the end of the video, I will share some numerical questions with you or some theoretical question with you, which will help you in your exam and which has been already asked in your examinations. So let's start with today's lecture. Income under the head salaries. So students, we will cover all these topics under your income from salaries, that is your chargeability. First of all, it's important to understand about the chargeability, to find the chargeability. That is like salary due or salary paid or allowed, though not due. You can say advance salary or errors of salary, outstanding salary you can say. Then next thing we have to cover the deductions, which whatever the deductions which are available under the head salary. So we will cover all of those deduction. You should have a particular knowledge about such deductions like your standard deduction, entertainment allowances, professional tax, all of these. And next is meaning, which is covered under section 17. Meaning of salary, requisite, profits in lieu of salary. So these are the three definitions you can say, which is very important to understand under the income from salaries. Definition of salaries, which is covered under section 17, subsection 1 of Income Tax Act. So here student, salary includes your wages, any annuity or you can say pension, gratuity, any fees, commission, perquisite or profits in lieu of or in addition to any salary or wages, advance of salary, payment received, or you can say portion of the annual accretion in any previous year, transferred balance in recognized PF to the extent it is taxable, contribution made by the employer in the previous year to the account of an employee under the pension scheme. So these all are covered under your salaries. Basically student, salary is something which is your regular payment of anything, like you can say wages, you are getting regular wages, so it will be considered as your salary. So all the payments which are benefiting the employees, which are helpful for the employees to you can say to survive in the atmosphere, to survive for their betterment, so these all are included under the head salaries. Students, let's have a look on the you can say format of computation of salary, income from salary. So this is how you have to calculate your taxable income. You have to calculate your total income from your salary. First, you will write down the basic salary. If it is given per month, then you have to convert it into your yearly salary. Then fees. commission, bonus, gratuity, leave encashment, pension, retrenchment compensation, compensation received under VRS. So all of these, first of all, you have to calculate if there is any one present in the question. If there is any one like gratuity is there, commission is not there. So you will write whatever the information is available to you. So first of all, you have to cover all these information. Then you have to write down the allowances. You have to consider the compute the allowances like DA, DNS allowances or DNS pay, HRA, children education allowances, children hostel allowances, any entertainment allowance, medical, conveyance or city compensatory allowances, uniform allowances, personal development allowances, transport and other allowances. So you have to then you have to calculate your allowances. You have to compute the amount of taxability which will be taxable under the head income from salaries. So after writing down all the allowances, then next what you have to do is you have to write down all the prerequisites which are available to an employee, like any obligation of employee paid by employer, like ऐसा कोई भी benefit जो कैश में ना हो करके prerequisite is something which is beneficial for the employee, which is you can say apart from your cash payment. आपको cash payment आप नहीं पे कर रहे हो but आपके behalf पर कोई और आपके expenses पे कर रहा है, your employee is paying your expenses. So this is something your prerequisites which is included under your prerequisites. Any accommodation which is paid by the employer, you are taking the benefit of that accommodation, right? So आपको direct or indirect you are getting the benefit somehow. Then shares or securities issued under ESOP or employers contribution to superannuation fund, any gas, electricity or water payment, you can say medical facility, other fringe benefits, leave travel concession which is paid by the employer, contribution to employer, contribution of employer to PF, interest on recognized PF or any other item. Then after computing the all the prerequisites which are available to the employee, then whatever the amount you will get from the your salary computation and your allowances prerequisites, then whatever the amount will you will get, that will be your gross salary. Then you have to deduct the deduction which is mentioned under section 16. First there you have to deduct your standard deduction, then entertainment allowances and tax on employment or professional tax. Then after that, whatever the amount you will get, that will be your taxable salary. Next is allowances, which are covered under the head salaries. So different types of allowances are given to employees by their employers. So generally allowances are given to employees to meet their particular requirements, to meet their particular expenses like house rent or you can say expenses on uniform. So that is for the betterment of the employees. That is you can say a need helpful gesture by the employer to their employees. So there are allowances, there are three types of allowances. First category is fully taxable, when all the amount of allowances will be fully taxable under the head, when it is partially taxable, and the other one is your fully exempted allowances. So let's have a look on the fully taxable. It includes entertainment allowances, dearness allowances, overtime allowance, fixed medical allowance, city compensatory allowance, interim, servant, project, tiffin lunch dinner allowance, any other cash allowance, warden allowance if any, non-practicing allowance, transport allowance. And your partially taxable will include your house rent allowances and some special allowances which are covered under section 10 subsection 14. And next category is your fully exempted, when you don't have to pay any sort of tax on these allowances. First is your allowance to high court judges, allowance paid by the United Nations Organization UNO, compensatory allowances received by a judge, Sumptuary allowances granted to High Court or Supreme Court judges. Allowances granted to government employees outside India. So as we have studied that there are three categories of allowances. First is your fully taxable, उसमें आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, that you have to pay the tax fully, you have to include that particular amount of allowances in your computation of salary. So वहाँ पर आपको कोई issue नहीं है. Then next is your fully exempted, वहाँ पर भी आपको कोई issue नहीं है, you will get the exemption particularly. The third category which we have to focus on, that is your partially exempted or you can say partially taxable. So partially taxable है, so कितनी एक्सटेंट तक पार्शली यू कैन से कितनी एक्सटेंट तक आपको टैक्सेबल रिबेट मिल सकती है. सो लेट्स हैव अ लुक ऑन द HRA, that is your house rent allowances. If you are getting, if an employee is getting house rent allowances in metro cities, if that person is living in the metro cities like Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai, so in that case there will be, first of all, these are the three situations. You have to find out these three situations. You have to focus on these first. First is your HRA, which is actually received for the relevant period. Second, rent paid minus 10% of salary for the relevant period. Here salary will be including your basic pay and your dearness allowances, so that will be your salary. And third is your 50% of salary for the relevant period. So first of all you have to write down all of these three. Then out of these three you have to select the minimum value, you have to select the least value. So whatever the least value out of these three you will get, that will be your exemption from the tax. So that will amount will not be taxable. For example, your total HRA which is you are receiving from the company is 10,000, and the amount you can say rent paid or you can say the least amount out of second and third step is your 8,000. So you will get a rebate of 8,000. That means आपकी जो taxable value होगी वो 2,000 होगी. 10,000 minus 8,000. So least जो भी आपका इन तीनों में से आपको मिलता है, सो उस लीस्ट को आपको HRA एक्चुअली रिसीव्ड में से माइनस करना है. देन वॉट एवर द अमाउंट यू विल गेट, दैट विल बी योर टैक्सेबल अमाउंट. And if a person, if an employee is getting HRA in other cities, then in that case HRA actually received or rent paid minus 10% of salary or 40% of salary for the relevant period. So again you have to choose the least amount, you have to choose the minimum amount for your exemption. So let's understand the concept of house rent allowances through the example. So this is a question which is mentioned over the left side. Mr. Raj Kumar has the following receipts from his employer. Basic pay 3,000 per month, DA 600 per month, commission 6,000 per month, motor car for personal use 500 per month, HRA 900 per month. Find out the amount of HRA eligible for exemption to Mr. Raj Kumar, assuming that he paid a rent of 1,000 per month for his accommodation at Kanpur. DA forms part of salary for retirement benefits. So first of all, this is a case of second situation where, because it is mentioned that a person belongs to Kanpur, not from the metro cities. So we will consider 40%. Okay. So first of all, what you have to write down is you have to find out the actual amount which Mr. Rajkumar has received. That is your 900 per month. Please see, HRA received is 9,000 per month. So you have to calculate it into your yearly amount. That will be your 10,800. So HRA received 10,800. Then you have to find it out the excess of actual paid by the SSC over 10%. So here formula will be rent paid, which is your 1,000 per month, 1,000 into 12 minus 10% of salary. So as I told you, salary will include your basic pay and your DA. So 3000 plus 600 into 12. So here you will get the amount of, that is your rupees 7680. Then you have to find out the 40% of salary. That is your 40% of 3600 into 12. Then you will get the amount of 17280. Now out of these three you have to find out the least value. सबसे कम value क्या है इसमें? That is your 7680, right? ये आपका exemption available है. So you will deduct this amount from your HRA received. जो आपको benefit receive हुआ है उसमें से exempted amount आपको deduct करना है. Whatever the amount you will get after the deduction, that is your 3120. So this will be your taxable HRA under this head. So this is how you have to calculate the HRA amount. You have to calculate each amount under the income from salaries. Next is your special allowances. So these are the special allowances in which you will get some exemption under the head income from salary. So first is your special compensatory allowances for hilly areas. So you will get the 800 rupees or 300 rupees per month depending upon the specified locations, and rupees 7000 per month in Siachen area of Jammu and Kashmir. Next, special compensatory allowances. So in that case, rupees 1300 or 1100 or rupees 1050 or 750, rupees 300 or 200 rupees per month depending upon the specified locations. And these are the locations which are mentioned, like for border area allowances you will get the exemption up to rupees 1300 per month. For remote locality it's your rupees 1100 per month. So like this you have to find out like for which location what amount will be exempted under the head income from salaries. So that will be given to you in your examination. So don't worry about it कि मैम कैसे पता चलेगा that which location कौन सी location से belong करता है employee. So nothing like that. Don't be panic. आपको सारी information question में mentioned होगी. Next is your special compensatory allowances, that is your tribal or schedule areas, that is rupees 200 per month. So the amount which you are getting as your allowances, that is non-taxable or you can say exempted from tax up to rupees 200 per month. For any transport allowances, it will be 70% of such allowances up to maximum of rupees 10,000 per month. Next is children education allowances. So rupees 100 per month per child up to maximum of 2 child. So whenever a employee is having 2 child, so there is a extent that a person will get the benefit up to 2 child, and that is rupees 100 per month and per child. Next is hostel expenditure of his child. Rupees 300 per month per child up to a maximum of 2 children. Compensatory field area allowances 2600 per month. Compensatory modified field areas allowances 1000 per month. Counter insurgency allowances 13900 per month. Any transport allowances rupees 3200 per month. Underground allowances rupees 800 per month. High altitude allowances rupees 1060 per month or 1600 per month. That depends upon the altitude of the area. Like for 9000 to 15,000 feet it's your 1060 per month, and for above the 15,000 feet it's your 1600 per month. In last is your special compensatory highly active field area allowances is your 4200 per month. So what you have to do is you have to just read out all these exemptions. You have to like you should have a proper knowledge. You have to remember all of these allowances. You have to have a knowledge regarding the what all exemptions and up to what amount exemptions is allowed. Next is pension. So student pension is divided into two parts, that is your commuted and uncommuted. So first of all, let's understand what is your commuted pension. So commuted pension is your whenever you are getting the amount of pension in your lump sum amount, that is commuting as a whole or a part. So that is your commuted, and uncommuted is a pension like whenever you are receiving the pension periodically, like after 1 month, or you can say at a period of 1 year. So this is your periodically payment. So when you are receiving the pension as a uncommuted form, then it is fully taxable. If it is commuted one, then in case of employees of the central government, local authorities, statutory corporation, members of civil services, defense services, etc., then it is fully exempted. अगर कोई government job में है, so then it some cases it is fully exempted, which I have already cleared. And if a person is other employees, it is included other employees, then in that case, if the employee is in receipt of gratuity, if it is covered under the Gratuity Act, then one third into commuted pension received divided by commutation percentage into 100, that will be your exempted amount. If the employee does not receive any gratuity, he is not covered under the Gratuity Act. In that case, 1/2 and into like half of the amount into commuted pension received divided by commutation percentage into 100. That will be your exemption. And last topic of the day is your gratuity. If gratuity is received during the service, you are receiving the amount of gratuity during your service, then it is fully taxable. Or if you are receiving the amount of gratuity at the time of retirement or death, in that case, if employee is from your central government, members of civil services, local authority employees, etc., then it will be your fully exempted. If gratuity is received by other employees, in that case, if that employee is covered under the Gratuity Act 1972, then you have to calculate rupees 20 lakh if he is like getting 20 lakh rupees actual gratuity receipt, whatever the amount he is getting, or 15 days salary based on last drawn salary for every completed year of service or part in excess of 6 months. So here your calculation will be number of days in a month to be taken for calculation is 26. So out of these three, whatever the amount will be minimum amount, whatever the amount will be your least amount, that will be covered as your exemption. If that other employee is not covered under your Payment of Gratuity Act, in that case, rupees 20 lakh actually gratuity received or half month salary based on average of last 10 months salary, in that case you have to like find it out as a least value, which is the minimum value out of these three. So this is how you have to calculate the gratuity. So students, that's it for today's lecture. In next video, we will cover the remaining topic from income from salaries. So here is a question based on today's concept. Mr. Srikanth has two sons. He is in receipt of children education allowance of rupees 150 per month for his elder son and rupees 70 per month for his younger son. Both his sons are going to school. He also receives the following allowances, that is your transport allowance 1800 per month, tribal area allowances 500 per month. Compute his taxable allowances. So you have to solve this question. I hope you can solve this question. still if you face any difficulty in any concept, then do let me know, and you can contact me anytime to clear all your doubts. Thank you so much for your time. Stay tuned for more videos.